Hi there, my magical star beings. This is Psychic Siren Tarot, and welcome to the channel. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at your main character energy. So this is a fun, light-hearted reading that I'm very excited about to do for you. I'm now going to show you crystals for each pile, but before I do, please note, this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. So for pile number 1, we have this red cat's eye crystal, and we have the card Be Spontaneous. For pile number 2, we have Rose Quartz. And we have the card Contentment. And for pile number 3, we have this golden cat's eye. And we have the card Support. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. Pick whichever pile you're most drawn to, the one that is calling out to your soul the most, and that will be a pile for today. But of course, if you're drawn to more than one pile, there could always be a reason. So always trust your intuition. Once you're done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below, and then I'll see you at your reading. Hi there, my pile number 1s. If you chose this red cat's eye crystal and the mermaid with Be Spontaneous, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at your main character energy. So please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. Let's go ahead and add your cards. So we're going to be using the African Goddess Rising Oracle deck, the Vanessa Tarot, as well as the Priestess of Light Oracle deck. And then we're also going to add your tarot cards after that. And then the card you chose from the intro was from the Messages from Mermaids Oracle deck. So let's get started. So spirit guides on my pile number 1s. Okay. We have the card Sacred Lust, card number 26. So at the back of the deck we have Shame, and then right behind that we have Creativity, which is funny because when I was doing a meditation for your reading, I was seeing a spider, and to me spiders always represent creativity because, you know, a spider creates its web. And I'll explain to you what I see here in detail. Let me just get one more oracle card from this deck. So spirit guides on my pile number 1s. What is their main character energy? And then we have Courage, Strength, Fierceness, and Family, card number 2. And then at the back of the deck, we have Clarity with Planning and Releasing Illusion, card number 5. So let's go ahead and pull some small tarot cards as oracle cards. Okay, so spirit guides on my pile number 1s. What is their main character energy? So we have the Empress card. Lots of Venusian energy. But maybe also Leo energy with 2 lines here in these different cards. Even if you're not a Taurus, Libra, or Leo, this could just be your main character energy, the energy you embody. You know, sometimes we can embody a certain energy but not be that sign. So I also feel this card. Then we have the 7 of Cups. And at the back of the deck, we have the Four of Wands. So, as soon as I tap into the energy of reading, I'm hearing that song that's like, you can be my girl and I can be your man. And then he's like, you can see what you got in store, something like that. I don't know what the song is called, I'm just hearing the melody of it. So this gives me the impression, even with the Sacred Lust card, your main character energy is coming through very sexy, very sensual, and your main character energy is coming through where you are that one person everyone sees, everyone notices. You stand out in your own unique way, and you have a lot of beauty, aesthetic, regardless of your gender, or handsomeness, or attractiveness. So we see the Venusian energy showing up twice here with the Empress as well as the Be Spontaneous card, because as this mermaid is lying in the shell, it kind of reminds me of the shell, Aphrodite stood in. And Aphrodite is the goddess of love, beauty, pleasure. And here we also see this goddess over here that is a goddess of sacred sensuality and pleasure and honing in on that pleasure. But I don't feel like that's just all I see here. So there is an energy here of you maybe being in your main character energy, so beautiful, so handsome, or just so attractive. So much so that it's almost like you've been blessed by the gods with lots of attractiveness, with lots of this feeling of people liking to look at you, with you just standing out in some way. Your energy comes through in a very showstopper energy, like you're supposed to be in the limelight in your main character energy. In your main character energy, since we had the shame card at the back of the deck, I feel like maybe for some of you, you didn't always see that within yourself in this main character energy. Like if you were a character in a movie, I could imagine this as a person going through life not really knowing how attractive they are, or not really seeing it the way others do. But there was some point in your life where you really start to build up strength. You really start to have some kind of change here within your perception of yourself, and you really start to see how much you stand out and shine. And Spirit is especially showing me the peacock and bringing this lion out a lot in your cards. And lions are, that Leo energy, that energy that just stands out, that takes up space, that kind of just knows its healthy ego in a sense. Does that make sense? So the peacock is also a bird that really stands out with all its colorful feathers. So I feel like you really embody that main character energy of standing out and being noticed and seen by others, but maybe not realizing it in your perception of yourself in the beginning, like if I had to imagine you in a movie. But then as you go along, there's something about you maybe realizing your worth, or maybe finding your self-worth, finding a sense of self-love within yourself, and starting to learn how to really hone in on what already makes you attractive. I'm getting like a vibe, if I had to imagine this in a movie. Let's say there is this really, for example, attractive woman, and she is walking through life and everyone's looking at her. She's a little bit shy. She doesn't show much of herself at the beginning of the movie, but then, she starts to open up a little bit more, and maybe she starts to have friends, for example, that start to compliment her and show her, what is beautiful about herself. And then maybe later on in the movie, she goes on to really develop self love and not really, talk down to herself anymore. And let's say later on in the movie, she starts changing, where she doesn't change as a person, but she maybe starts noticing what is beautiful about her physical appearance and starts, accentuating that, starts dressing up, wearing the things she wants to wear courageously, starts being her authentic self, starts, you know, even talking to people and trying to get to know people. And maybe then she starts to see, oh, it's not that people didn't want to talk to her, maybe she just needed to open up more. And then she's walking through whatever environment this is in this movie, and everyone's noticing her, everyone's seeing her change, everyone's seeing her glow up. Of course, this doesn't just relate to gender, but I'm just giving an example here of the energy I see. And this vibe of you really learning to love yourself. So, this is the first energy I see here. And then I see an energy in your main character energy of the sense of you being a little bit mysterious at first. Like, people notice you, but they don't really know who you are, and then they're kind of like intrigued by you. Like, who is this main character? I'd love to know more about them. They're so sexy, but then at the same time, they have this energy to them where I'm like, who are they? I want to know more about this main character. And I guess in some of your main character energies, maybe there are some things from the past or certain memories holding you back from really loving yourself. But then it's like you, in this movie of your life, you kind of find a way to sort of defeat that. I guess Spirit is showing me a funny example. Let's say we have a person, and in the mirror, there is another side to them where it's like not a horror movie, but more so a psychological kind of movie. I don't know if any of you have ever seen that, but let's say this person is really gorgeous and attractive, but then in the mirror, there is another side of them that kind of talks down to them, and maybe says some things they've heard from others or says some things to themselves that are not true. And maybe in the movie, this person finds out how to defeat that other side of them. Or that ghost. I don't know if someone here likes horror movies, because I even saw the spider. So maybe some of you, I saw a spider and a scorpion. Maybe some of you have Scorpio placements, and I guess your main character energy would come through a little bit more intense. So I guess not everyone will relate to that in the way I explained it, but Spur just showed it to me in a very funny way as an example of the energy I see here. And it's like you just kind of learn to find your self-worth and learn to release certain illusions surrounding being yourself in the world, surrounding knowing your worth and knowing how attractive you are, but not only just attractiveness, but also just confidence in yourself, this ability to really have the courage to put yourself out there in the world. So let's say in your main character energy, you start off the movie and you really want to perform on stage or dance on stage or something along those lines, something here with creativity, as we saw with the spider and the creativity card that was behind the back of the deck card. And maybe, let's say it takes place, for example, in a high school, and, you want to be on stage, you want to be and audition in the school play or something, or perform as a cheerleader or something like that, where you are honing in on your creative skills. It doesn't even have to be as the way I explain it, but there's something here about creativity. And maybe this is why the Leo energy is showing up so much. Even if you are not a Leo, maybe you embody that energy of creativity. And in your main character energy, it's like you are finding the courage and the strength and the fierceness to actually do what you want to do, to put your ideas out there into the world, to fearlessly go after the things you want and kind of put yourself out there and not be so afraid of what others may say or other people's opinions or their judgments, and kind of just honoring yourself and your heart and doing what your intuition is telling you to do. So I'm seeing an energy of that as an example. Or maybe some of you in your main character energy could be like art teachers, or it could be like people that really, fashion designers. I'm seeing that one movie, what is it called? The Devil Wears Prada. So there's something here about fashion too, like in your main character energy. Your fashion style is really on point, and maybe you know how to make your own clothes or design your own clothes, and then you become a designer for others. This is what your vibe gives me, even if I don't say it exactly the way that you are as a person. You know, everyone may resonate with this differently. I just see the theme of creativity here, and finding the courage to follow that dream with the Seven of Cups. Or maybe with the Seven of Cups, some of you are very multidimensional in your main character energy, and it's like, in order to follow those dreams, those different dreams you have, it would take a lot of courage to put yourself out there, to plan towards that, and to also have fun while doing it and not worry too much about the outside perception. I feel like in your main character energy, your main character would have some character development in their movie, because it's like, I'm seeing a theme here of change, of starting out in a place where it's not quite where you want to be, but then you have the courage, the fierceness to go after what you really want spontaneously. And once you get there, it's like there is all this energy of celebration. So there is a strong theme of change in your main character energy, of like going after your dreams, going after your wishes, your hopes, and kind of just thinking big for it, thinking big, thinking that you can achieve that and that you can find joy while doing so. I feel like in your main character energy comes through very joyful, comes through in this energy of embodying the sense of pleasure, embodying. And when I talk about pleasure, I'm not just talking about this energy, but I'm talking about, even here in this Empress card, we see grapes, and here they're celebrating, they're being playful. I see your main character energy coming through very playful, coming through in the sense of, I'm enjoying my everyday reality. I'm enjoying the little things about my life that make me happy. I'm enjoying my friendships. I'm enjoying my food. I'm enjoying everything around me. I'm finding the joy and the beauty in it. And I feel like that's your main character energy. And it's coming through like very much like, I'm just enjoying the present moment. I'm not worried too much about the future or the past. I'm kind of just focusing on now, and also having the courage to spontaneously put myself out there in terms of like opportunities one would never even go for because they feel like it's too big of a dream. And I feel like that's your main character energy, like courageously going after opportunities or dreams that others may deem as impossible. So let's go ahead and pull your tarot cards. We're going to be using the Muse Tarot for you. So, spirit guides of my pile, number ones. What is their main character energy? So we have the Eight of Cups, and I feel like a theme here is leaving behind past patternings, conditionings of who you're supposed to be, of playing it small, certain insecurities that may hold you back, limited beliefs, maybe even walking away from relationships or people that aren't serving you. Like if you had to be in a movie, I see you maybe empowering yourself in that movie and walking away from something that doesn't serve you, and later on finding something much better, much healthier, um, as a result of gaining that self-love here with the Empress card. We have the Page of Swords, Your main character energy comes through very much in this curiosity energy. Kind of reminds me of Alice in Wonderland. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Alice in Wonderland. It kind of like going down rabbit holes. Maybe even some of you would have this, like, Spirit is showing me detective energy as a funny example. But I feel like you have a curiosity towards different things you're interested about in your main character energy. And I feel like you would kind of be like Alice in Wonderland, going down rabbit holes, or maybe some of you would be like how I said, that horror movie energy, and then solving that mystery, or that's the vibe I get there for some of you. You don't have to all relate to it, but I get the vibe of like almost like detective energies or solving something, solving a mystery. Okay, so with the Page of Swords as well, I feel like in your main character energy, your main character not only has all the sexiness, all this attractiveness, but your main character energy also has the smarts, the brains to go after a plan, have clarity on what they want, notice certain patterns, and really go for it. Really gain all the blessings from your strengths, from your creativity, from this intelligence you have, this ability to learn, as well as this ability to really, with the Muse of Inspiration here, the King of Wands, find what you're passionate about, what burn some kind of fire within you of passion. Ambitiously go after that, believe in yourself, and really consistently go after that, and never let that fire burn out, but let that fire burn stronger and stronger. The more you go after that, the more passionate you get about that thing. And with the Muse of Inspiration, I feel like you're coming through very creative, very much in this energy of following your heart, following your passions, following the things that bring pleasure to your soul. And it comes through very innovative, very creative, very much in this powerful energy, unique and different energy, eccentric energy, but also this type of energy where you are inspiring others. So in your main character energy, I feel like you'd be that type of main character that would inspire others, that would help others see things in a different way, where they also want to go after their dreams and their goals and the things they desire. Okay, so we have the Seven of Swords. We have the Star. What did I say? In your main character energy, you're the star of your own show. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, then we have the Six of Wands. So in your main character energy, my pile number ones, I feel like you're coming through as the star, this person that shines brightly, that everyone notices in some way or another. And because of this, maybe how I said before, it's like, you may have certain people around you in your main character energy in the beginning of your movie where it's like they try to stop you from really seeing your potential, where they try to stop you from seeing how much you shine, where they maybe try to dim your light. Or this could be yourself leaving behind certain things where we say that to ourselves, where we are a little bit more mean to ourselves, but as you walk away from that and you develop more self-love, you start to shine more and you start to really take up space and not allow your light to be dimmed by others. So with the Six of Wands here, there is a story of success in your main character energy. Success even when you feel that there's something keeping us stuck, keeping us from really going after what we want with the Eight of Swords at the back of the deck. And it's like the stuckness maybe keeps us from putting ourselves out there, from really going after the things we want and believing in ourselves. But it's kind of like we have to break free from the stuckness and spontaneously and courageously go after what we want, build strength in ourselves, and really empower ourselves. And I feel like this is your main character energy. Okay, and then we have the Seven of Cups. We have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Five of Swords. We have the Queen of Swords. We have the Awakening card, which is the Judgment card. So from this first set of cards here, I see the energy of you may be having many different options in front of you, but now realizing it in the beginning of the movie, in the beginning of your story. And in the beginning of your story with the Five of Pentacles in reverse, maybe there are some financial difficulties or this type of energy of like something almost physically holding you back from going after the things you want. Maybe it's even people. And let's say, for example, with the financial difficulties, you start off the movie wanting to be a star and go audition for movies. And I don't know why I'm seeing Marilyn Monroe's energy. Your energy is coming through very similar to Marilyn Monroe. And let's say you're auditioning for movies and you're at that point in the beginning of your story where there isn't much finances, but then you keep trying, you keep trying, you keep trying, and you don't realize how many options are in front of you where you try out once and suddenly everything starts working. Suddenly things start making sense. Suddenly it's like you start getting your blessings. You start getting the things you are wishing for with the Nine of Cups. And it feels like this overwhelming joy where it kind of reminds me of that movie, no, that series, something with Daisy. Trying to remember what it was called. It was like they were all in a rock band. Something with Daisy. If you know, just let me know down in the comments. But she basically starts off in the movie where her family tells her, she can never be a musician. But then later on in the series, she actually does do it. She actually proves them and others wrong. I don't want you to focus on other things in that series because yeah, but anyways, I feel like that's the point here. Like maybe there's this energy of people telling you you can't do it, but then you actually kind of surrender, accept that, accept some insecurities, kind of walk away from it, gain certain realizations around your self-worth, and then something changes or shifts in your energy where you start to get the things you actually wish for that maybe people once said were impossible. Your energy, your main character energy is coming through as a dreamer, as someone that is going to take steps towards their dreams and make it possible with the Three of Wands. And even if others say certain things, it's like, you know who you are, you know what you're here to do, and you're going to really go after that and gain the courage towards it. Maybe even start gaining stability here with the Two of Pentacles as you go after your dreams and gain your own voice where you're no longer allowing people to treat you that way or say things to you in that way, where you're having more boundaries up, where you are there is some kind of transition change here in the way that you interact with people and yourself. So we have the Six of Pentacles here. And we have the Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. Why did I say Queen of Pentacles? Maybe that means that you are stepping into this energy, in your main character energy, where you awaken to your confidence, where you awaken to the sense of empowerment within yourself, where you start trusting your intuition, that you know that dream is there for a reason. You start expressing yourself more, you start being curious towards that and believing in yourself more, and you really start honing in on this sense of mastery and fulfillment toward your dreams, but also the sense of you giving to yourself kind words with the Six of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. It's like I'm speaking positively about myself and speaking positively now about the things I want to grow in my life. And I'm kind of like expressing myself more and going towards the things I want more. And my voice is really coming back where I'm not allowing myself to be kind of like silenced or kind of made to feel like I can't speak up for myself anymore. So I feel like that energy is there where you really find that empowerment. We have the Eight of Pentacles. So when I said Queen of Pentacles, maybe you come into the state, even if there was once financial difficulties in your main character energy, you come into this abundance. Okay, we have the Empress card, and the Empress card also relates to this energy of abundance. The last card we have here is the Six of Swords, and I guess this would be this energy of change. A big change or transformation happening in your main character energy where you really find that empowerment, find that self-love, find the sense of stability within yourself, find confidence within yourself, and learn to express yourself in the world, and you start to grow and master the things people once thought were impossible. So your story would be a story of self-love, of fulfillment, of trusting in yourself, believing in yourself, believing in the opportunities that could come to you, and also self-acceptance, the surrender, this change, like where you're starting to change your reality by mastering what really gives you passion and following your heart. So I feel like this is all I have for you, my pile number ones. This was a very beautiful reading. I really hope this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye! Hi there, my pile number twos. If you chose this rose quartz crystal and the mermaid with the contentment card, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at your main character energy. So please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. I'm now going to go ahead and add your oracle cards. We're going to be using the Priestess of Light Oracle and the African Goddess Rising Oracle deck, as well as the Vanessa Tarot. And then after that, we'll look at your actual tarot cards. Let's get a look at your oracle cards first. So I'm going to start off with this oracle deck. So spirit guides of my pile number twos. What is their main character energy? So we have card number 22 with resistance. Feel this card also wants to come out. Awakening, card number 40. And at the back of the deck we have Speak Up. So what is my pile number two's main character energy? Okay, two cards as well. We have Building Your World, Clarity. Oh, Clarity, Planning, Releasing Illusion, card number 5. And then we have card number 33 with building your world, creation, expansion, and networking. And what I'm noticing is 33 has come out twice because here this card is also 33. So that number may be significant. And then at the back of the deck we have guide. So when I was doing a meditation for your reading, to see what themes would come up, I kind of saw a crystal ball, a hand over a crystal ball. So this may be my intuitive pile, you may be very, very intuitive and connected to those realms. Or in your main character energy, maybe in your story you go to a psychic, or maybe you have this very psychic, witchy energy or magical type of energy in your main character energy for some of you. So, what is their main character energy? We have the Two of Cups. I did feel your story would be like a rom-com, so I'm glad to see there is that kind of confirmation there. Then we have the Sun card. And I also want to show you these two cards were behind the Sun card. So we have the Devil and we have the Lovers. Very interesting. At the back of the deck, we have the Emperor. So I feel in your main character energy, it is kind of giving me this vibe of some kind of level up or change or transition happening within your life and finding or reclaiming your power. But also, in your main character energy, you give me a vibe of a very earthy energy with these two cards, or a very romantic energy too. I was seeing that Cinderella movie with Hilary Duff. So there is like a very romantic energy here, and I did feel like your kind of movie would be sort of like a rom-com, but then would also include your own life journey. So it wouldn't just all about be love, but I think it would include love in some way, with the Two of Cups showing up and the Lovers, maybe some kind of committed relationship where you two would be the main characters together. And I guess you would be the main character, but then they would be the one that loves you, the one that is basically your manifestation of what you want in love. Kind of like a true love story. So I feel there's this energy in your life, maybe starting out in terms of your main character energy, starting off your story. Maybe we see some kind of energy where you maybe didn't have the best people around you. I'm seeing an element of betrayal here, and you may be learning to speak up for yourself. So let's use an example here. Let's say we start off the movie. Spirit is showing me Elle Woods from Legally Blonde. Let's use her as an example. In that movie, she first starts off dating a guy, and she wants to go to college with him, to law school with him, and she wants to go to Harvard with him, I think. But he's kind of like undermining her in that movie, and he's making her feel like as if she's not smart enough to do that. And I don't feel like this is the love story we're seeing here. This is just an example of the energy of the beginning energy of your movie, of your story, where maybe some kind of betrayal happens where you learn to speak your truth. So, in that movie, he kind of tells her, she can't do it, and he undermines her, and he tells her she's not smart enough to do it. And then she ends up getting into the school. She ends up getting into Harvard, and she's very excited to tell him, and he's like, anyone can do it. But he's still kind of undermining her, and she's really willing to prove herself, not just to him, but to herself. And, she really studies hard in that movie. You know, in the end, she really proves everyone wrong that she can be pretty but also smart, because in that movie, she was very pretty. Like, she gave me a very much Libra energy. I could, she's maybe not Libra, but like in her energy, gave me very Libra energy. Maybe some of you can relate. Because I do feel that with you as well, like the soft energy in your main character energy, like the soft, sweetheart energy, a very loving person, with all this pink here from the rose quartz and all this love energy. You know, maybe you'd be that type of friend in your main character energy that would always be there for those you love. You know, friendship would be important to you, love would be important to you, but you maybe also have the type of energy of a lot of pretty or beauty, prettiness, beauty, handsomeness in your main character energy. And I'm seeing this energy of you maybe starting off the energy of your story. Maybe the story doesn't start off so happy, but because like I was seeing rain, you know, like rain pouring down, and maybe the start of the movie is you going through that sadness or pain or grief. But then as you move forward and trust, and maybe you resist that at first, but as you move forward and trust, maybe later on in your story, you kind of create the sense of contentment and peace for yourself. So, what I do see here in your main character energy is like reclaiming your power and speaking up, because even in that movie with Elle Woods, it's like she spoke up for herself. She wasn't allowing people to kind of walk all over her. And I feel like that's your character development that's happening right now, where people are starting to see you reclaim your power and start to speak up for yourself. And you know, like, even though you are this kind, sweethearted person, you're not going to allow people to treat you anyway. And I feel like this is what's showing up in your main character energy, the sense of finding your voice, finding your power, and finding your truth of who and what you want around you. There may be an energy of travel. Like, if I had to imagine your life as a movie, I would imagine a sense of travel or moving away from that energy and kind of leveling up in that sense. Kind of awakening as to who you are meant to be, having maybe someone or yourself or your intuition guide you towards where you are supposed to be, where you awaken towards where you are supposed to be. And it's like as you are guided to the right path, you start to really find your own power, is what I feel here, and start to build towards where you want to be. Start to create the reality you want to live in. Maybe at first you resist this because it's like, can I really do this? Can I really follow my heart? Find my power through this? But I feel like at some point you surrender to it and you kind of plan towards that, plan towards where you want to build towards. And you're really going to go after that and build stability for yourself as you start to go after the things you want to manifest in your world, in your reality. I see an element in your main character energy in your story of learning, of gaining wisdom, of being loyal to yourself. And as you do that, you gain a certain amount of blessings through that, but also finding clarity in what it is you want to do. So, going back to that example of Elle Woods and how she, you know, became a lawyer and everyone thought she couldn't do it, maybe some of you have an element of that here, of like almost like proving people wrong when they thought you couldn't do something. Or even if it's not proving people wrong, maybe proving yourself wrong, where maybe you thought you couldn't do something, but you end up doing it, and you end up being like, whoa, I can do that. I can also do this. I can also do this. So I see an energy of change here, of some kind of support from, do you know, like how people will create a movie and the director will know what to create? maybe the main character won't know that as they're in that sad moment that something better is going to come along, and there is going to be a happy ending to the story. But maybe if we think of ourselves like maybe God or the universe is maybe like the director of our movies, and we kind of also co-create and direct our movies with the universe or with God, but we don't always know what God or the universe is planning next for us. And I see an element of this here in your movie, like almost like you're that actor or that actress and you're the main character, and you don't know what the director has planned next for you, but it's even better than what you've expected. And I see an element of this here in your reading, and maybe even a story of you finding a love that makes you really happy with the Sun card, or just even finding happiness within yourself, fulfillment and contentment within yourself, within your own story, and finding the sense of healthy love, maybe even beginning to fall in love for the first time, or just in a sense where it feels very much like this true love story. And maybe even there would be this element of commitment here with the Lover's card, with a love that is so passionate, but is also this type of energy where maybe you two are like best friends, or you two are always together, like two peas in a pod. I maybe even see a story here of like, how like in Riverdale, there would be the four friends, but then there's two couples there. I see like an element of that too. Or maybe like having friends around you and your lover in your main character energy and story, and the sense of finding true love, or yeah, finding the kind of love where you can share everything with each other, where you can kind of just talk to each other. This is the kind of like love story that is very dreamy, that is very romantic, that makes people from the outside look at you and feel like they're actually watching a rom-com movie. And I feel like this is your main character energy, but there's also a lot of spiciness and passion in this connection, and the story of commitment and true love. Maybe you resisted at first in this kind of rom-com story of your main character energy. Maybe the person goes after you and you're kind of like resisting them or trying not to fall in love with them, but then the more you resist, the more you just fall in love. I'm hearing a song by Snow Allegra, and it's like there is some kind of line in her song where she's like, the more I try to resist you, the more I fall in love, or something along those lines. I can't remember what song it was, so if you do know, just let me know down in the comments. But yeah, I see an element of love here, a story of love in your story, but also planning towards where you want to be and building towards that. So we're going to use the Muse Tarot for you. So Spirit Guides of my pile, number 2s. What is their main character energy? We have the Page of Wands. We have the Eight of Swords. Okay, here showing up is the Queen of Cups. I'm just going to remove these small tarot cards because they're like moving around so much. Then we have the Four of Swords. We have the Temperance card. We have the Seven of Swords. And we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. We have the Fool card. And we have the High Priestess. So what I feel from your energy, your main character energy. Like I said in the beginning of the movie, there are maybe some people with the Seven of Swords here that don't have your best interest in mind, that kind of make you that try to make you believe things about yourself that aren't necessarily true, or try to keep you stuck in some way here with the Eight of Swords. But there is this energy, like I said, of finding your power, reclaiming your power. Maybe your intuition tells you something is off about this energy or these people that are in your life in the beginning of your story or movie. And you have to really maybe even learn to trust your intuition to break free from the cycle of stuckness and really create the sense of safety for yourself, the sense of peace. You know, like not letting someone take away your peace, not letting someone really take away your ability to speak up for yourself or your ability to walk away from those situations. And I feel here with the Page of Wands in the middle of your reading, there is this energy of expression coming out in you in your main character energy. Maybe you're that type of main character that starts off very sweet, starts off as this very compassionate, empathetic person and energy with the Queen of Cups. I feel like in your main character energy, I feel Elle Woods perfectly describes your main character energy, because she's that one person that is very sweet, but she's also very pretty. And I feel like that's you. And with the Queen of Cups, there is this depth to you. Like, I'm also seeing I'm also seeing Beck from you, and I don't want to use that story because that story is kind of creepy, but I'm just using the character, like, you know, where she is very much like writing books, and she wants to write books and she wants to follow that kind of creative thing. I see something like that here, or an element of you seeing the world with so much depth, or seeing the world with this kind of beauty where it's like maybe you're that type of main character that would create poetry or create art and kind of just be in your own little world, and or maybe be that type of main character like Spirit is showing me. I'm trying to think what her name is. Elaine from the Love Witch, when she's pulling tarot cards, and she's, of course, maybe not be completely like her, but there is that element of like witchiness here, or spirituality, or like being someone that is very connected to those realms intuitively. Like maybe your main character energy would be someone that reads cards and like is that kind of energy. But I also see an element here in your main character energy of taking some kind of leap of faith where the outcome is kind of hidden to you. You don't really know what's going to happen next. But as you take the steps towards that, you know, you really create some kind of change in your life that invites in more peace into your life, where the past energies kind of fall away, where you are kind of like crowned by the universe and have the sense of growth and the sense of things turning around in your favor, where you really get to express yourself in the way you want, and where you really get to follow your passions, your curiosity, your interests, your goals. And I feel that energy with you where you patiently go after that. Your main character energy in your storyline would go after the things you want, take some kind of leap of faith here with the Fool, but at the same time, patiently go after it, patiently build towards where you want to be, and maybe even learn a lesson of patience here. Even when you think nothing is happening, something does happen. So what is my pile number two's main character energy? We have the Magician. Yeah, there is a sense of you creating your reality, or creating a different reality than you have once experienced. And then we have the Page of Cups. We have the Hermit. So it's, I guess it's about going within and finding yourself. Maybe in your story, it would be a story of finding yourself, of self-discovery, of really understanding yourself in a deep level so that you know what to create and then following your heart. I feel like in your main character energy, you maybe be that type of character that is very self-aware, that knows what they want, knows what their heart is telling them, very curious. Like Spirit is showing me Coraline. Since I was seeing you and Coraline, maybe someone here likes those types of movies. um, but there is also this sense of you. I'm seeing Barbie now, like the new Barbie movie, and she kind of like is this empowered Barbie, like this woman that does, you know, and follows her dreams. So I guess some of you could relate to that. And I guess all the Barbies in that new Barbie movie do amazing, great things for themselves. Like, you know, like write books or do things for themselves that they've always wanted to do. They're not just like in that Barbie movie with that lover. It is a love story, but they're also creating their own thing for themselves. And I feel like that's your main character energy. Your main character energy also comes through very playful and very youthful, even if you are not like young, but it comes through very youthful, like very young at heart in your energy. So, what is my pile number two's main character energy? We have the Page of Pentacles, we have the Nine of Wands, we have the Ace of Swords, we have the Four of Wands, and we have the Chariot. I feel like in your main character story, I said I saw an element of travel, and we have the Chariot here. I feel like your story would include this type of energy where you're maybe like in one place, and then at the end or the middle of the movie, you know, you're at a completely different place in your life, but this other place is much happier because we also have the Sun card. And maybe you realize, okay, in that one town, you didn't actually feel like you got along with everyone or you related to everyone there. So maybe some of you took some kind of leap of faith, or have relocated in your life, or have traveled a lot or want to travel a lot in your life. Not everyone will resonate with it, but there's also energy here of movement, of moving around, of maybe not staying stuck in one place. And the Fool card even moved to the side a little bit, of kind of like letting go of the past and creating something new. I feel like this is your main character energy. There is this sense of empowerment, finding your power, finding the sense of freedom. I felt the energy of freedom when I looked at the Ace of Swords here. Having your main character energy comes through very optimistic, comes through like, I'm looking at life in a very open-minded way, and I'm kind of just following my heart. I'm not thinking too much about what other people would think or what challenges would be there if I had to take that leap of faith. I'm more so trusting, not letting challenges keep me stuck, but following my heart, trusting that even if challenges come my way, I can learn from them, I can grow from them, and I can build more of a stable foundation from that as I, you know, really take that leap of faith into where I want to be, into what makes my heart happy. With the Sun card, so I feel like your main character energy comes through where maybe there is this bit of sadness in the beginning, but towards the middle and the end of the movie, there's a lot of happiness, a lot of joy, a lot of the sense of freedom, of, you know, I've done this, what's next? This empowering feeling of, I did this, I completed my goal, I achieved this. What next? Like, I'm excited for the next adventure. Maybe your main character energy would also be very adventurous, would find a circle of friends that really are stable and really relate to them and really make them happy and are loyal, but then also find that love story that makes them very happy too. And like I said, we end off with this energy of empowerment here with the Chariot, the sense of you leveling up, seeing life in a much more different perspective, and finding the people around you that are meant to be around you. And then we end off with the Ace of Cups and the Lovers. So I feel like this is self-explanatory. You end off your story, or at least the story of now, because movies can have like the first sequel, second movie, third movie. The first movie here we see, the sense of you finding love, finding happiness, finding fulfillment, finding friendships, and finding those connections around you that feel like soul family. So this is what I see in your reading of your main character energy, my pile number twos. I really hope this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye! Hi there, my pile number threes. If you chose this golden cat's eye crystal and the card support with these three beautiful mermaids, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at your main character energy. So please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. We're going to first start out pulling your oracle cards. So we're going to be using the African Goddess Rising oracle deck, the Priestess of Light oracle deck, and the Vanessa Tarot, and then after that we'll actually look at your tarot cards. So let's just get started with your oracle cards first. So from the support card you chose, I'm feeling a story of friendship here, a story of you being that main character, maybe in the beginning starting off being a little bit like in solitude, but then after a while maybe you find your friends, you find your soul family, you find those people that are your people, that are very supportive towards you. And this trio over here kind of reminds me of Destiny's Child. Like I was seeing Destiny's Child, and how like all of them have something to contribute and they're kind of all singing together. But then I also saw the movie Clueless for you. So in the movie Clueless, it shows the story of three friends, and I get that vibe from your main character energy. And I was seeing the main character in Clueless. I forgot her name, but she has blonde hair, and I was seeing you kind of like as that main character, kind of like lying there on your bed with a pink pen, like she holds like some kind of pink pen with a fluffy thing on top. And I see it as like you're writing your own reality. You're writing the own movie, your own script to the movie you want to play or direct. So it's like you're the director of your own movie, but then you're also the main character of your own movie. But then you also have that support group around you, or those friends around you, or just your soul family around you in terms of this main character energy, in terms of the movie your life is playing. And even if you feel like you don't have those friendships in your life yet, this could be significant for you later on in your life, where you walk into a place and you're kind of like that package deal with your friends or with those people around you that you really cherish. It doesn't just have to be friends, but your support system. And I feel the energies of soul family here, and kind of like you two or you three or whoever many people are in your support group being like a package deal, being like kind of like that trio, or being two peas in a pod. I feel that energy here. So let's start off with your oracle cards. So spirit guides of my pile number threes, what is their main character energy? So we have the card Cosmic Power, card number 2. So your main character energy could also include some kind of significant love story that is very romantic. And I feel like in your main character energy, you are the main character of your own world. But then there are also significant people in your movie, in your story, that really add to the story, that really make the story full of love, make the story full of support. And it's kind of like you have your own unique qualities and traits and strengths, and you really add it together to make it even better. To It's like a puzzle piece that fits perfectly together. Does that make sense? And then at the back of the deck we have soul forgiveness. So I feel like in your main character energy, like I said, you maybe don't start off with all those people around you, but I feel, your story maybe starts out where you're kind of feeling alone. I'm seeing that donkey that donkey song where he's like, I'm all alone. um I'm just laughing because it's a very cute song he sings, but I feel like you're not alone in your story. I feel like that's the message here. You're not alone in your story. Maybe you start healing, you start letting go, you start really understanding yourself on a deeper level. And then in the movie, you start forgiving, people from your past that may have not been as supportive as you wish they were, or as loving as you wish they were. And I feel this energy of like you liberating yourself from those scenarios and kind of reaching a place of soul forgiveness. So it's not like soul forgiveness towards those people, but more so forgiveness to allow yourself to emotionally let go of those people that may have not loved you in the way you wanted them to. And then I feel this energy where you begin your healing journey and you kind of start to find those people that do recognize you as their soul family and do start to bring the sense of healing love in your life where, this love is really equal, even though I'm seeing, like Clueless, and even though I was seeing like Clueless and Destiny's Child, how like Beyonce is the one in the middle, but I'm feeling in this story it's kind of like you're all equal, but you're all the main characters of your own story. But it's like those characters that play in your movie play an important role of your movie, and you all add your own unique qualities and strengths to it, because I mean, this male here is showing up as the sun. This feminine energy is showing up as the moon, and they show up as this kind of like power couple. And there's a story of cosmic power here where they add their powers together, and of course, maybe some of you would have like powers or something, or gifts or talents. Um, but it's like you add those powerful strengths together and you make it one, where you're kind of like one with the people around you, with your soul family. So there's also an element here of emotional vulnerability and the sense of like we're together as one. So let's get more cards. So, spirit guides on my pile number threes. What is their main character energy? We have Earth Magic with fearlessness and removing obstacles, card number 26. And at the back of the deck, we have Portal with infinite mind and awakening consciousness. I feel like in your kind of main character energy, I'm seeing the story of Aladdin and how he finds the genie lamp to fulfill all his wishes. And I feel like in your story, there is a sense of some kind of magical door opening or some kind of magical change happening in your life that seems like the stars are aligning for you, or seems like obstacles are being removed from your life, but maybe it takes some surrender and some patience and the sense of really just trusting that things can change. And I guess along the way, things change in a very magical way. Like, how Aladdin finds the genie lamp and, makes his three wishes. I kind of feel like in your story of your life, it's sort of like you find your wishes, or you find your manifestations, you find the things that are really like a treasure to your soul, or are really like the things you really wish for. Doors start opening up for you, and like I said, you start creating or directing your own story the way you want it, and kind of writing the story of your life the way you wish it to be, finding all your wish fulfillments. It's kind of like Nine of Cups energy, wish fulfillment energy here. And I feel like in your main character energy, you would be that type of person that learns to kind of open up your mind, and learns to open up your mind to believing in even the impossible, to believing that your dreams can come true, to believing that your wishes can come true, and maybe even awakening to some kind of magical change happening in your life. I feel the energy of like your movie of your life would be a little bit more magical than the average characters. I feel like maybe some of you could relate to having that type of energy where you are like a little bit more mystical, or your story is a little bit more magical, or maybe you are a mystical creature in your own kind of storyline of your main character energy. But it doesn't have to be, it could just be something magical takes place in your life that seems like doors are opening for you that are just amazing, with limitless potential. So your main character energy is coming through very much like in this free energy, free spirited energy. I feel like I'm also seeing a vision of Lilo and Stitch when she kind of jumps into the water and she's swimming with the fishes in the ocean in the beginning of the movie. I feel like your main character energy comes through very much in alignment and in harmony with earth and nature and all its animals, but also very much free spirited, where you're doing what you want to do, where you're your authentic self in the world. And there is this sense of magic surrounding you, this magical quality, and maybe even you recognizing or knowing that you are powerful, that you are magical in some way, and kind of just being your free spirited self. I feel like your energy also kind of reminds me of the Little Mermaid, when she kind of rebels against her dad because she wants to be part of the human world, part of that world, and she wants to do that. She's not going to let anything hold her back, and she kind of has that rebellious energy, but I don't see it as rebellious. I see it as free spirited in some way. So I feel like that's your main character energy, and a sense of fearlessness as well. But also, there is a sense of patience in your main character energy, where you are also patiently allowing whatever it is you want to come through in the best possible way. And you're kind of fearlessly going after the things you want, while obstacles are also being removed from your life in the most magical way. So let's go ahead and use the Vanessa Tarot. So spirit guides of my pile number threes, what is their main character energy? So we have the Chariot, what is their main character energy? We have the Queen of Swords. And I feel like with this Queen of Swords, like I said, with the Little Mermaid as an example, if she never went after what she wanted, she would probably be a little bit miserable or a little bit regretful, because even if she kind of like strained the relationship with her dad in that movie by, going to the human world and making some kind of big change in her reality, or some big kind of level up in her reality, if she had never done that and trusted what her intuition was telling her, she would have never been free. She would have never felt the sense of I am living the life I want to. And I feel like with the Queen of Swords, that's the energy I feel from you and your main character energy. It's sort of like, I don't care what anyone says, I'm going to speak up for myself. And maybe that's your main character energy. Learning to speak up for yourself, learning to set certain boundaries with people that try to put you in a box or try to get you to follow some type of, I'm hearing, quest for what they think your life should be, but you know what your life should be like. And that's why I got the energy of like you directing your own movie. It's like I'm not going to let anyone tell me the life I should live. I'm going to authentically step into my own energy, and if they don't like that, then I can't please them. I'm not going to be here to please people. I'm here to live my life the way I want to. It's not like you're stepping on people's toes, but you're just freely being yourself, being your authentic self, and speaking your truth in the world. And that's how your main character energy comes through. Your main character energy comes through very much like adventurous and curious, almost like Alice in Wonderland. And like, I want to explore my reality. I want to maybe even be in different places in the world, or move to a different place, maybe not physically, but level up to a place where I am living the reality of my dreams, or living the reality like a genie has granted me some type of wish of the reality I do want to live in. So the Chariot here indicates some kind of level up that happens in your story. So we're going to use the Muse Tarot for you. And now Spirit is showing me Sabrina. Um, the Chilean Adventures of Sabrina, or Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and how she also has that kind of rebellious, free-spirited energy where, if you look at the movie, when people tell her to do things, she wants to understand why. She wants to understand why she needs to do it that way. And if she can't understand why she needs to do it that way, she's going to do it in her own way. She's very authentic to herself, and very much like in that headstrong energy of I'm going to be myself, whether people like it or not. She's very much like that character that's different from everyone, because she has human friends, but she's that magical character that is half human, half witch. And even when she is in the school of witches, it's like she still feels like she's not completely in that magical realm. She's halfway in this human realm, but also halfway in this magical realm. But in the movie or in the series, she's not like seeking to fit in or seeking to be like everyone else. She's seeking to be herself. And sometimes people don't like that about her, or people try to get her to follow things the way they want her to do it. But she has that headstrong energy. So I feel like you have that type of main character energy. Like I said, this magical type of energy, maybe like the star energy of like being one foot in the human realm and being one foot in the spiritual realm. Maybe your main character energy comes through very spiritual or very connected to spirit and those higher realms, but also very unique and eccentric. But I feel like through that, you also find your soul tribe, through being yourself in the world, through being that authentic version of yourself. You find your soul tribe, you find the people that are meant to be in the journey with you and kind of understand you for you and want you to be yourself in the world. Support you fully as you go after your wishes and as you go after your dreams, but also support you as you be yourself in the world and love you for you instead of trying to change you. So now let's use your tarot cards. So what is my pile number 3's main character energy? We have the Death card. So yeah, some kind of big change happens. This is what I feel happens in your story, like some kind of big change happens. We have the Knight of Wands. We have the Muse of Inspiration. We have the Six of Pentacles. We have the Page of Swords, Page of Swords. The Nine of Cups, what did I say? Oh my gosh. Some of you may also have been drawn to either pile number 1 or 2, but if not, also okay. The reason I say so is because pile 2 had a love story like yours, but pile number 1 had a lot of your cards that came out. So they had the Page of Swords, the Nine of Cups, they had this card, this card. So there are some similarities here. They also had the Empress, which you have coming out, and the Three of Wands. I know I'm not seeing the High Priestess here, but you give me High Priestess energy. In your main character energy, it's like this connection between spirit, but also the human realm. But also Queen of Swords energy is coming through strongly for you, where you're learning to speak your truth and be yourself in the world, and kind of empower yourself in that and follow what makes you happy, even if it doesn't make sense to others. So with the Empress, I feel like your main character energy comes through very beautiful or very handsome, very attractive, because the Empress is that Venusian energy, and Venus is the planet of beauty and aesthetics. So this shows your main character would be admired by many, and Spirit is showing me Tangled, and I'm seeing all these characters with this free spirited energy, because Tangled, in that movie, she didn't want to just stay in the tower. She wanted to explore. She wanted to be outside in the real world. And, she kind of went off with Flynn Rider, even though she wasn't quote unquote supposed to. So I feel like this main character energy coming through is a theme I see in your reading in different characters I've seen. And I feel like, she was also very beautiful, but with the Six of Pentacles here, it does remind me of her, because she was very generous and very kind. She was that type of main character that was very kind and very generous. And, when she did go into the kingdom, she was kind of playing with the kids. She kind of brought life back to the kingdom. This energy of playfulness, this energy of this freeness, like in that scene where she is braiding those children's hair, and then she's also dancing and also bringing creativity in it when she is drawing on the floor or something like that. And in the movie, everyone kind of gets to know her and everyone just knows her. So I feel like you have that main character energy where everyone knows you for your generosity, everyone knows you for your kindness, but also your uniqueness and your willingness to be yourself in the world. And there is this sense of you being so kind and being such a soft person, but then at the same time, you are going to speak your truth. You're not going to let people just kind of take advantage of you or walk all over you or make you do things you're not wanting to do. So I see that energy. With the Page of Swords, I feel like there is this curiosity when it comes to you, but also the sense of you not only being someone with a lot of beauty as a main character or handsomeness or attractiveness, but you also have this smartness and this intelligence. Spirit is showing me Maya and the Three. So I'm seeing a lot of movies for you. And in one of the episodes, she always somehow just escapes when one of the gods tried to attack her. And somehow she's not even escaping using fighting or using weapons. She just somehow is outsmarting them, is always one step ahead. In her mind, she's very witty and she knows how to make certain moves that get her along, and don't let her be attacked, but she doesn't have to fight to win it. Does that make sense? So I feel like you have that type of wittiness to you, or that smartness to you when it comes to you as a main character. But I feel like that throws people off guard because you are also attractive, but the type of intelligence you have is the type of intelligence where maybe people sometimes undermine you, but then they don't exactly see it at first, but then when they do see it, it's like you kind of outsmart them, or you kind of, Spirit is showing me checkmate, you make the right move. And with the Empress here, I guess in your main character energy, would find luxury, would find wealth, would find abundance, but would also find a lot of their wishes. Look at the genie lamp here. I think that's a huge synchronicity, would find a lot of your wishes, and some kind of big magical change happens here, where we see this change in the middle of your reading with the death card, where the one way of living your reality has closed out, and now there is a new chapter happening where you really get to envision the life you want and live that dream. So with the Muse of Inspiration, your main character energy comes through very ambitious, comes through very much following that passion within, but also inspires others. Also comes through very exciting, where other people celebrate you for your character and who you are. And I guess your energy kind of also reminds me of like Snow White when she's singing to the birds, and she's kind of like does she sing to the birds? She sings to the animals or something like that. So I feel like your main character would kind of have like an animal with you, or just love animals in general, would be known and celebrated for your character, and would go on their own, unique journey that is very beautiful. Okay, we have the Queen of Swords, and yeah, that's what I spoke about earlier. We have the Star, which is quite interesting because I was seeing star energy. Your main character energy comes through very eccentric and starts to follow their dreams with fearlessness, with courage. Spirit is also showing me Tinkerbell. Okay, we have the Sun card. Your main character energy comes through very much like happy-go-lucky, very positive, and spreads positivity to others. We have the Lovers. So your main character energy would definitely include some kind of love story here, where you find your true love, where you find the love of your life that makes you very happy. And I feel like it would be that type of relationship where other people see it and want it, or kind of want something similar to that. And then we have the Six of Wands. So I guess Spirit is just showing me a lot of like magical movies, because now with the Six of Wands, Spirit is showing me Shrek, and how Shrek goes on that quest to find Fiona. And he doesn't defeat the dragon by even fighting with the dragon, but he outsmarts the dragon. So here we see that energy again in a different way. And he rescues Fiona, but then he finds the love of his life, but he also completes his quest and finds his swamp back. That was his quest because he needed to get his swamp back. So I feel like maybe in your kind of main character love story, you would find love in the most unexpected way that would bring you so much happiness and joy. And when you find that union with your lover, it's like maybe you don't expect it, but it's the best thing that would ever happen to you. I mean, even in the movie Tangled, we saw, she didn't expect Flynn Rider to come to her and kind of take her away from her tower. So with the Six of Wands, you find success in your own unique way, and it kind of just brings you a lot of joy. I feel like in your main character energy, like I said, the story would be with a lot of twists and turns, but it would lead to a happy kind of story ending anyways. And then we have the Three of Cups, so definitely a story full of friendship, a story full of this energy of you finding your people, finding people that mean a lot to you. And yeah, that's the energy I see here. So are there any lost information about their main character energy? We have the Muse of Materials. We have the Two of Pentacles. We have the Two of Cups. And we have the Chariot again. So as I look at this Three of Cups, I'm seeing Aquamarine, and when she has those two other women, you know, kind of help her and save her by helping her, you know, have a place to stay in water by not, you know, exposing her and showing everyone that she's a mermaid. But in that movie, she also needs to find love. She needs to find her true love's kiss to kind of allow her to, I don't remember the whole story, but she needed to find that true love's kiss before the 3 days. And here we see the Two of Cups. So definitely some kind of big love story would be in your main character energy that would influence your story, but also the friendships energy shows up strongly. And with the Muse of Materials here, I feel like your kind of main character energy would be the story that inspires others to follow their heart, to take a journey where it's a little bit more unconventional than most, but follow their heart's true calling. And I know that's normally not what this energy is about. Like, this is the King of Pentacles card, but I feel like that's the energy I'm feeling from this card. Like, the sense of meeting yourself on a deeper level, since these two people are looking like the same person and they're holding hands and she's going on this journey here. It kind of gives me that vibe of like meeting the self on a deeper level and following what your heart truly desires. And you'd inspire others to do that and make some kind of big change or level up or transformation in a very stable way. So this is what I have for you, my pile number threes. I really hope this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye!